Well, hey there, folks, and welcome to the BRO Reloading Bench. The subject today is the 35 caliber triple alt. I have rapidly been falling in love with this new pellet size that I have acquired. I have been making going on back to where I started researching this stuff. I picked up a 2-cavity mold from Lee in 35 cal, and it would take me hours just to make up enough. I'd be scared to know how long it took me to make up these 35 cal pellets. I powder coated these. These are some nasty beasts, boys. Pea soup green, and they are awesome. And but I got a couple of molds from Marty. The 9mm, which is 355 cal, and a standard 350 cal in the English measured molds that Marty has. So anyway, I molded a bunch of this stuff up. I've seen a lot of discussions concerning pure lead and hard cast, and I decided that we were just going to dedicate this 35 cal video to not only the pellet size that I've fallen in love with, but I've molded up a mess of hard cast water dropped wheel weight alloy along with pure lead. This is this is soft stuff. You could chew this stuff like bubble gum. That's how soft this stuff is. So it was roof flashing and x-ray room type lead. I mean, the pure stuff. So anyway, we got it put together. Rachel and I have already shot the 45 yard section or the 45 yard segment of this video series. That's what y'all are going to watch here in just a second. And well, I'll let you just see the results down at the range. And I just made up some 2 3/4 inch. So more people have access to 2 3/4 inch and are loading 2 3/4 inch than 3 inch. So principle is the same. My Stover loves triple alt no matter what it comes out of, or whether it's 3 inch or 2 3/4. It doesn't care. It just loves the stuff. And I was also shooting Kicks light foil. Kicks sent me a couple of light foils to try. I got one for my 870 and one for the Stover. And so we shot the light foil choke down there with the 35 cal to see how it worked out. It did excellent. A lot of folks I've heard from, a lot of you guys told me that y'all like the light foil better because it handles the bigger pellets better for you than the standard foil. Now, mine loves it through the standard foil, and it did very well with the light foil. And it may do outstanding out of you guys' guns. But let's head on down to the range and let me show you how the hard cast versus pure lead, all these rounds were buffered. And so I think that may make most all of the difference. Anyway, I'm going to touch base with you guys here right after the range segment. We'll see y'all in a little bit. Probably didn't start. Alright guys, I've been talking about the 35 cal. Here is this is going to be an experiment. We're starting at 45 yards, 41 meters, with the 35 cal triple alt hard cast versus total pure soft lead. And that's what I got here. Once fired Fiocchi's. Thanks, Grant. Once fired Fiocchi 616 primers reinstalled. These are 2 3/4 inch. CB 1138 wide. 8 pellets of 35 cal triple alt. Just regular star crimp. Both of these at 28 grains of long shot. All covered in Ballistic Products original. We're going to shoot the pure lead, and then we're going to follow it up with the hard cast. Alrighty. 8 pellets of pure lead, 2 3/4 inch. This stuff is real soft. I think you could bite it in two, just like you do fishing lead. Would help if I close it. All right, ready? Here we go. 1258. All laid up in here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fellas, like I said, this This is very soft stuff. You almost feel like you could mash it in your fingers. I'm sure most of these may have been a little square, even with the buffer coming out down here. But now pure lead is going to react different when it hits an animal or something like that. They're going to expand better in situations like that anyway. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, right here. That's still a little bit low. I know I was holding it dead center that time. I might would have to adjust my optic. That's just with a different choke in it. I might would have to adjust my optic. But let's shoot the hard cast and see if that tightens them up any here at 45 yards. All right. Here's the hard cast. I was telling Rachel the scientific way would have been to take the tape measure down there and measure it, but I guess we're just going to have to eyeball it. I didn't figure there would be a whole lot of difference at 45 yards. At least I wasn't expecting it. Heck, that was a great pattern as far as I'm concerned with 8 pellets of 35 cal triple aught. That was great, even with just really soft pure lead. All right, let's see how the hard cast does. $13.47. It's a little tighter, but some may say not that much difference at 45 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And another great pattern. But the pure lead, I mean literally just by an inch or two maybe, was a little bit wider. So conclusion I'm getting, or probably get from that, is the further back we go, the bigger difference there may be in it. Because I know that the pure lead, just in the firing process, disfigures worse than the hard cast. That's just a fact of physics. But we see in here that 45 yards are inside. Not enough difference. Not in those 2 rounds, but it shoots all pretty well. All of these 35 cal triple aught are shooting well. And but yeah. So 45 yards and inside, probably not enough difference in pure lead and hard cast to make a difference. Not on your patterns anyway. Okay folks, next 2 shots, exact same data. Same holes, same 2 3/4 inch. Everything is identical, only we dropped the powder charge back by a full grain. Both of these have got 27 grains of long shot in it. First shot is just before, is going to have the pure lead, the 35 cal pure lead in the first shot. Second shot will have the hard cast. We're going to shoot this, the next 2 shots out of the old 870. 26 inch barrel with a standard full, not the light full, but with the standard full in the 26 inch barrel. Oh, it's got had a little lip or a little tear on it. Probably won't be able to load it again, but at least we can get it shot today. Alrighty, here we go. $12.48.
All 8's on there.
Yep. We have, once again we have all 8. This looks to be $16 inches across the longest part of the pattern with the pure lead, with the other 6 right here, all right there. And that's with the pure lead, here to here, and figured that's about 16 inches. I couldn't find a tape measure, So anyway, let's shoot the hard cast. Here, folks, you see sometimes I'll bring the rounds down here that are way less than perfect. They've got little cuts or whatever else on the crimp. And so if you see me struggling to get one in there like that, that's using one of those rejects that I bring down to the range to test with. All right, hard cast, 8 pellets of 35 cal. .1281, real consistent. Looks like. "16 inches. My guess would be roughly about the same widest point, about 16 inches. Maybe 15 inches. But conclusion is, even with 27 grains, we're getting great performance with 27 grains. The less powder you have to use, the better, in my opinion, as hard as it is to find and as expensive as it is. So using 27 grains in your 2 3/4 inch with 8 pellets of 35 cal triple alt works great. Works great out of both of my tools. So in order to keep these videos at a reasonable amount of time and all that, we'll move it back in the next one to test them further and further. Maybe back on up to 60 yards on the next one and see how much of a difference it makes at 60 yards. And we'll shoot some 3-inch magnums and all that at 60. So many people are shooting 2 3/4 inch. I think more are shooting 2 3/4 inch. So pure lead versus hard cast, 45 yards and inside, I say performance is pretty much the same. Okay, we basically shot 4 of the 2 of the exact same type loads. I've had some folks asking that does the pure lead and the hard cast lead weigh the same? Yes, identically the same weight. Yes, they do. The we were using once fired Fiocchi hulls. As a matter of fact, I got them in my hand. Here's the ones that we fired down here at the range. We'll put them back together. They're in great shape. I don't know how many times they've been fired before whenever I loaded them this last time. But I'm just going to load 1 round because we shot 4 of the same rounds. And even down to I've shot these rounds with 26, 26 and a half, 27, 27 and a half, 28 and 28 and a half in the 2 3/4 inch. And all have performed well. The 26, 26 and a half are down around 1100 foot per second, and they're a little less recoil. I would recommend that if you had young'uns or young ladies that really can't take the heavy magnum loads, then loading with 26 and 26 and a half grains in this same load is a great performer. Not so hard on you, light recoil, going about 1100 foot per second, which is, if you look at factory buckshot, 3.5 inch averages 1000 to 1100 foot per second. 3 inch, some of them are advertised at 12 to 1300 foot per second, but none of them go that fast. They're basically 11 to 1200 foot per second in all of your factory loads. So what we shot down here at the range here, I'm going to put one together. We're going to use 27 grains of long shot powder, and in this one. And actually down at the range we shot 2 at 27 and 2 at 28, and excellent performers. I don't think that 75 foot to less than 100 foot per second separated the shots. So anyway, I'm gonna get the y'all have seen this Hornady lock and load work, so I'm gonna get it programmed up and get it dispensing. And we're gonna, let me slide y'all around where y'all can see the Size Master. I do love my Size Master. All right, decap, we're using the back around here, we're using the Fiocchi 616 here. We've shot the Shadite standard Shadite primers in this same load configuration with equal performance. I can't tell the difference in the velocities with the Fiocchi 616 and the Shadite and the Rios and Nobel Sport. As far as that goes, they all seem to perform equally well for me. It may be different for other folks, but as much as we shoot, we just don't see any difference in the performance with all of those great imported primers that are available. But right, and for, you know, down at the range, we shot 616. I'm still going back with 616. 20 gauge here still works great. This is the junior, and I've got it set up to load 2 3/4 inch 20 gauge. It still will prime the hulls for me. I have to use the size master to decap it and resize it, but who cares as long as we make it work, right? All right, 27 grains of long shot. CB 1138. Boys, if I had to pick, if somebody said, okay, Wade, you can't have but 1 wad to load your buckshot, that's it, 1 wad, that's all you can have, it'd be the CB 1138. That's what it would be. Why? Because it's versatile all the way up to 35 caliber. That's why. That's why we're doing this video. All right. Here we go. I need 8 35 cal. I have some beautiful polished pure lead right here behind me. That's what I'm gonna put together in the demo round. Because the 35 cal, let's see, this where y'all can see it. If it'll remain, the 35 caliber fit down inside the CB 1138 wad perfect. Little to no play at all. No dimpling on the hull. They fall right in place. You just drop them in there and they fall in place. 2, 4, 6, 8. Perfect. I cover with BP Original. 47 works equally well. The we seem to sometimes with the precision spherical, sometimes we have some weird anomalies that happen whenever we use the in certain loads, especially with the short pedal stuff, where you can have a lot of buffer contact in the side of the shell wall. We can have some weird anomalies. What I'm talking about, pressure spikes, pattern scatter, just weird stuff happening. Rip the hull apart. That happens. But I only noticed that with the spherical buffer with the short pedal or no pedal wads using the conventional type loading. Even with a Mylar wrap sometimes still works weird. I can't explain it. I've spoken to Precision about it. They weren't familiar with the anomaly. I said, is it just me? If you guys have run into stuff like that, weird anomalies using the Precision spherical buffer, tell me down here in the comments and all that. We can get a discussion going and all that here. And even over at Buck and Slug, if you've run into those kind of anomalies, let me know. I'm over there at Buck and Slug, and just put my name in your comment and tell me what kind of weird experiences you've run into with the Precision spherical and stuff like that, and we'll get a good healthy discussion going there, and maybe we can figure this thing out. All right, let me get this little brass adapter right here from Precision. This is a godsend because I have this machine set up to load 3 inch because I load so much 3 inch. With this little 2 3/4 inch from 3 inch to 2 3/4 inch adapter, this little adapter from Precision is a godsend because I can crimp my 12 gauge 2 3/4 inch in it. Look, yeah, there he is. And like schmudded, ugly looking crimp, okay, it happens. I ain't no telling. This could be 5, 6, 7 times that this hull has been loaded. And there was one down there at the range that when I went to load it in the 870, it was the plastic was ripped. That's why it didn't want to load. But this Miracle Nail, I love it. I put it on every round that has buffer in it. Keeps the buffer in and the moisture out. That is a beautiful round, and like I said, brand new hulls work great, work equally well. You can roll crimp this as well. I would recommend using 27.5, 28.5 when you roll crimp to keep your velocities up there around 1200 foot per second. Yes, conventional crimps build a little more pressure than a roll crimp. Not enough to lose your mind over or anything like that, but it does make a difference. It creates a little more back pressure with the conventional crimp. Roll crimp does not build as much back pressure. But there's no dimpling on these holes. They're going to run in your pumps and your auto loaders like a dream, and you've already seen how they perform down at the range. Okay, in the next episode we're going to back up to 60, maybe even 70 yards, and because we're shooting that big 4-foot target, so we can get a good idea of how this stuff is flying even in extended ranges. And we're going to load up some 3-inch for this one, some real heavy hitters, some 10 pellet 3-inch, and we're going to probably shoot that 10 pellet that performed so well for us in the beginning to end video that we just wrapped up, and we're going to shoot some of those at 70 or 75 yards, along with this pure lead versus hard cast. We got a lot to learn in here, Mo. It has got my interest piqued with all this stuff. I'm really looking forward to it when we get down there and get it wrapped up. We're going to buffer some. I think the buffer is probably the contributing factor that prevents these soft lead pellets here from deforming so bad. They're going to deform some, but they keep them from deforming so bad that at 45 yards, I'm guessing even at 50 yards, there wouldn't have been enough difference to where I'd just say, oh yeah, that's a big difference that I wouldn't do it. Heck no. No, that would be fine, probably 50 meters and inside, or 50 yards and inside. Obviously, from my research, we're going to shoot some non-buffered at really extended ranges. Now, there's where I think we're going to see our biggest difference, or our biggest difference in the tightness of our patterns, is when we shoot unbuffered loads, because I'll just about bet you these soft lead pellets will be about square whenever they come out during the firing process, as opposed to the hard cast. Alrighty folks, hope y'all enjoyed this part 1 here of the range research. We're going to back up somewhere a long way, 60, 75 yards. We're going to back up a ways, shoot that big target, and see how this hard cast and soft lead does at even more or further extended ranges. Alright guys, this is Wade Rush. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. We'll see y'all on another one real soon.